Does Umbrella Academy have anything new, fresh, or of substance to add to the superhero genre, or is it just a hodgepodge of predictable cliché tropes? Number 8 here, aka Beto, bringing you a new real take to real screeners. For the first time, we are reviewing a Netflix series, Umbrella Academy. Unfortunately, number 9, aka Lenny, couldn't be here today because he teleported to another dimension. I think he's helping out the commission with some impending doomsday, but he'll be back next time. Umbrella Academy is adapted by Steve Blackman from the Dead Horse comic book series by Gerard Way and is one of Netflix's latest wacky, gutsy, stylish, and addictive series. I binge watched this in 3 days. The plot here centers around a group of uncanny, gifted, superpowered misfits who are all born on the same exact day. Then they're raised by an eccentric philanthropist adoptive father to become saviors of the world. As time passes by, they drift apart, and then one day they band back together as adults once they receive news that their adoptive father has passed away. This event is the catalyst for this group of brothers and sisters to discover and rediscover things about themselves they never knew. To me, this is a realistic superhero story because the characters are so well defined and developed. They're all deeply flawed and nuanced and have internal and external demons that they have to battle, beginning with their feelings about how they were raised and how they now have to accept responsibility and embrace who they are or who they want to become. And I love how the show presents no easy answers to who they are, whose side they are on, or what they want. In this manner, the show reminded me a lot of another Netflix show called House on Haunted Hill, with these themes of sibling rivalry and bonding, and there are some glimpses of inspiration from the X-Men franchise, with a few of the characters being really hot-tempered and, having these quirky natures. All of the character storylines are captivating, weird, and interesting. I think Diego and Allison are the weakest just because they are more ordinary, but I'm just really nitpicking at this point. I just think that number 5, Luther, Klaus, and Vanya have more outlandish, dynamic, and compelling arcs. As for flaws, there were times where I was bothered by some of the decisions the characters made, and the writing did feel a little cliched at times. I gotta say, Ellen Page, I was a fan of yours in Juno and in that weird movie where you played that sadistic torture freak, and I think it's called Hard Candy. But I don't know about Ellen Page's performance in this show. To me, it felt a little bit over-exaggerated, or perhaps it was just her character who was just annoying at times. But I've got to say that my favorite characters by far in this show were Cha-Cha, played by Mary J. Blige, and Hazel, played by Cameron Britton, as a pair of oddball assassins. These characters are unapologetically hard-hitting, cool, and brazen. I particularly liked how one of these hangs out at a donut shop called Gritty's, where an unlikely yet beautiful romance ensues. There were moments in this show, especially while in this donut shop, where I was reminded of the nightmarish, dysfunctional American dream gone sour style of David Lynch. I'm talking influences here, especially from Twin Peaks, Blue Velvet. Speaking of out of the ordinary romances, this show is full of them, and it's one of the curious draws and highlights of this show. I want to briefly also mention the cinematography, the special effects, the makeup, the costumes, the set designs are all top notch and masterfully constructed and executed. There is beautiful lighting techniques and great editing and use of split screen. There is some cool motion capture animation done in this movie with the character of Pogo, and the show presents a killer soundtrack of catchy assorted tunes to boot. Overall, I thought that this was a very fresh take on the superhero genre. I highly recommend that you watch this show. I was thoroughly invested in the characters and their growth. The characters were interesting and quirky. I was enthralled by the themes of being in command of your fears and overcoming them, and being in control of your own emotions. It's also a great coming of age story and truly an unconventional superhero show. For those reasons, I have to give this 4.5 reels out of 5. Please don't miss this show. Let us know on the comments below what you think about this show. Do you think this is a fresh perspective on the superhero genre? Do you think the show has new things to offer? Or do you think that it's just a rehash of old superhero tropes? And as always, look us up on social media, on Facebook at Reel Screeners and Instagram reel.screeners. And if you like our reviews, hit that subscribe and bell button to get notifications, and join us next time for some more real takes on movies and now TV shows.